Good evening, everyone. We are delighted to welcome you all to the Day 6 of International Faculty Development Program on Smart Biomedical and Sustainable Electronic Systems, AI, IoT, and Green Technologies, organized by the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, CIMAT. We hope today's session will be as enriching and inspiring as those of the previous day. It is my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed resource person for today's session, Mr. Sebin Sunny, the CEO of the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center and the Center of Excellence in IIoT Sensors at IITM. A visionary entrepreneur and innovation leader, he has extensive experience in business development, startup incubation, project management, and emerging technologies. Previously, he served as the CEO of the TCE Technology Business Incubator at Tyagarajar College of Engineering, where he played a significant role in strengthening the startup ecosystem. He has also co founded multiple technology startups and has led several impactful projects in collaboration with organizations such as KDISC, the Raspberry Pi Foundation, and the Silip Foundation UK. His outstanding contributions have been recognized through prestigious awards, including Regional Mentor of Change by Niti Aayog, Exemplary Mentor of Change by the Adal Innovation Machine, and Elite Academician by Texas Instruments and IRM. We are delighted to have him with us today. I'm sure his session will be inspiring and enriching for all of us. With great pleasure, I now invite Mr. Sebi Sunny to deliver today's session.
Thank you for the invite. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. So very good evening to all. So before we start, is it possible for everyone to give your full name and the organization name in the chat so that I will know who all are attending, and based on that I will be able to curate my session. എല്ലാവരും ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ചാറ്റിൽ ജസ്റ്റ് നിങ്ങളുടെ പേരും ഓർഗനൈസേഷനും ഒന്ന് ഇടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നന്നായിരിക്കും. And also, I can see Suresh sir, Nehru College of Engineering and Research Center, Vipin sir from KMCT. Others also, if you can put your details, it will be great. Sangeeta madam from SBC. From EKC, Shaino sir is joining. College of Engineering, Vadagara, Ragi madam is joining. Vinod sir from Sripati. Shanuja madam. Shanuja madam, your organization is? Others also, you can put your details. And also, everyone is convenient with Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, sorry, I'm having some power issues. That's the issue. It's getting disconnected. So, as I mentioned, I can see a lot of esteemed faculties here. So, is there any issue with Malayalam language? Please let me know. ഇംഗ്ലീഷും മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ വെദർ ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് എനി ഇഷ്യൂസ് പ്ലീസ് ലെറ്റ് മീ നോ. മലയാളം അറിയാത്തവരാരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഐ വിൽ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ഇൻ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്. ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഓഫ് വെരി വെരി മച്ച് ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ what I would like to tell is like this is a very basic module like e-waste management, the policies, research trends, and funding opportunities. So I will be handling the session from a startup perspective because under IIITMK we mainly deal with startups, their innovations, especially in the electronics domain. So കൂടുതലും നമുക്ക് ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവിൽ ഐ വിൽ ബി ടേക്കിംഗ് ദിസ് സെഷൻ. അപ്പൊ സെഷനേക്കാൾ ഉപരി ഐ വിഷ് ടു ഹാവ് ദിസ് ആസ് എ ഡിസ്കഷൻ. കാരണം നമ്മളിപ്പോ വി ആർ ഫോക്കസിങ് ടു ഓൾ ദ ഹയർ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട്സ് ടു മേക്ക് ദം ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി റെഡി. കാരണം നമ്മളിപ്പോഴും ഇഫ് യു ലുക്ക് ഇൻ ടു എൻ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ എസ്പെഷ്യലി അവർ ഹയർ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട്സ്, ഒരുപാട് ഇന്നോവേഷൻസ് എവറി ഇയർ ഇറ്റ്സ് കമ്മിങ് ഫ്രം ഓൾ ദ ഹയർ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട്സ്, irrespective of the type of college, whether it's engineering or whether it's diploma or whether it's arts and science. You can see lots of innovations coming. But what happens to all these innovations is like everything everything gets into a shelf as a file or maybe a thesis, and it's not going to the next phase. So right now we are initiating one event known as iStart Kerala, which is a throughout the year program, which help the faculties to transform their students' innovations to a startup. So whichever stakeholders are involved, like the organization, the faculty, the students, the supporting industry, everyone will be getting benefited through that initiative. So for a session, I will keep this as a discussion. So I need all your participation. So we will have some Q&A, like some interactive things we will do. So based on that, we can move forward. അപ്പം നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇൻപുട്ട് എനിക്ക് തന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാലാണ് മേ ബി ഐ വിൽ ബി ഏബിൾ ടു കീപ് ഓൺ ഡിസ്കസിങ് വിത്ത് ഓൾ ദി തിങ്സ്. ആൻഡ് ഫ്യൂ വീഡിയോസ് ഓൾസോ ഐ വിൽ ഷെയർ റിഗാർഡിങ് ദ ഇ വേസ്റ്റ് മാനേജ്മെന്റ്. So e-waste എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് എവ്രി വൺ ഈസ് ഫെമിലിയർ വിത്ത് ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ ത്രെഡ് ദാറ്റ് വി ആർ ഫേസിങ് ടുഡേ. If we are taking any household, any organization, any institute, we can see huge amount of e-waste piling up. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് ഓഡിബിൾ അല്ലേ? എന്തെങ്കിലും സൗണ്ട് ഇഷ്യൂസ്, ക്ലാരിറ്റി കുറവ് അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ഇഫ് someone can respond, it will be of great help.
Audible ആണ്.
Okay, thank you. So if we look into any organization, any household, personal belongings എടുത്താലും there will be lot of e-waste piling up. So the issue with e-waste is like you cannot dump it just like any other organic waste. It should be dumped on a based on an SOP or maybe some standard procedures we need to follow to discard all these equipments. So that's one main concern that we are facing. Many organizations create awareness, and also when we look into an electronics board or maybe an electronics gadget, the resources required for manufacturing that particular device will be huge. Like a lot of rare earth metals is required. There will be some kind of enclosures which will be made of plastic or maybe some other kind of materials. So there is a huge amount of materials coming inside. So in order to, if you look into current world, you can see every day new gadgets are coming. Let it be earphones or maybe smartwatch, laptops, mobile phones. Huge number of gadgets are coming. So day by day we can see more innovations are coming, more types of gadgets are coming. So all these are adding to the e-waste. So maybe it's a general topic. Maybe we will discuss on the policies and also how effectively faculties can get into some core research, think of having some good ideas and converting these ideas to some startups, get funded from government or maybe from the industry. What are the different schemes available? So based on that, we'll move forward. So before moving on to the session, I will just give a small brief regarding Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, State of Kerala. Actually, it's triple ITMK. I put one extra I here. Now only I'm seeing. Sorry for that. It's triple ITMK, Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management under State of Kerala. So unlike other triple ITs, this is a state-owned triple IT. Which started in 2000. So when we started, it was imagined as a educational organization with a focus towards postgraduate programs and PhD programs. But currently, all the academics, all the PG courses have been upgraded to or transformed to Digital University of Kerala. We are not dealing with any postgraduate programs now, and also PhD also, as if now it's not there. We continue to we right now we stand as a research organization, and also we focus on bringing new electronic ideas, and we try to support novel inventions, and also we try to support startups now. So our major focus is towards supporting electronics-based startups. So under Triple ITMK, we have three major pillars or three major centers. The first one is Maker Village. Many of you will be knowing about Maker Village. So Maker Village, it's established in Kochi, Kalamassery, in the Kerala Technology Innovation Zone. Some of you have heard about this Kerala Technology Innovation Zone also. So it's a campus where we have most of the electronics-based innovations happening, and it is considered as India's largest electronic system design manufacturing incubator. So I hope everyone will be knowing what this incubator is, how this incubator works. Maybe I'll come to that discussion later. So Maker Village, we started in 2016 with the support of Ministry of Electronics and IT. It's been supported by MEITI from under Government of India, and also along with that, Kerala government and Kerala Startup Mission, they are providing their supports in multiple ways. The second center is Center of Excellence in Intelligent Internet of Things, Intelligent IoT Sensors, which was established in 2021, again with the support of Ministry of Electronics and IT. And for the first center, the Maker Village, the major objective is or the major focus is towards creating a startup ecosystem for electronics-based startups. For the second center, the major objective is a research component, and along with that, the secondary objective is like creating a startup ecosystem for sensor-based startups. Whichever startups working on sensor technologies, they will be given some support. So Center of Excellence started in 2021, and the entire research part is taken care by CMET in Thrissur, Center for Materials for Electronics and Technology. So they design, develop different types of sensors. Close to 12 different sensors they have developed in-house. Developed in the sense the complete manufacturing being done in-house. As if now, if you look into India, most of the sensors, it comes from outside India. So we are trying to bring some indigenization where we develop our own sensors. So CMET has got a very good track record in creating these sensors, and they hold the research component of COE, Center of Excellence. And the third center is Established Incubation Center. Established Incubation Center is like it's been supported by Adal Innovation Mission under Niti Aayog, Government of India. So Established Incubation Center is nothing but it's a transformed version of Maker Village, and it was initiated. It is initiated in Trivandrum in 2025 with the support of Adal Innovation Mission. So these are the three centers. All the three centers, the main focus is towards support to electronics-based innovations, electronics-based startups and all. And for the third center, there is one additional focus that is towards deep tech. So most of you would have heard about this deep tech because last budget, Nirmala Madam announced that deep tech's the startup uh, constraints or the deep tech thing uh, will be reconsidered. Like the 10-year period will be made 20 years for deep techs. The 100 crore revenue will be enhanced to 300 crore revenue for deep tech startups. So some important decisions has been made. So deep techs they focus on core research, and they require huge amount of fund for the research, and also they spend a lot of time on like minimum 3 to 5 years on the research side. You can see a lot of examples like Agnicool, Ether. So all of them work on this deep tech side. So similar to that, the third center, established incubation center, has got a focus towards deep techs, especially on the technology translation part. And along with these three centers, we also promote few missions like KIoT, which stands for Internet of Things. That KIoT stands for transforming all government departments to IoT ready departments, or maybe infusing technology to our current departments and helping them to solve most of their issues. So close to 14 government departments are part of that. So that also will come into more discussions, because that's a very good model that we have been trying for last 6 to 8 months. Many startups are part of that. Maybe if everything is going good, in another 3 to 4 months, we'll be able to extend this KIoT program to all the higher education institutes, maybe all the faculty research, or maybe the student innovators. They can be part of this initiative, and they can provide some fruitful solutions to the government department. And along with the KIoT, there are few other initiatives also, like KAI is there, where there is a focus towards artificial intelligence. Kerala Startup Mission is leading that initiative. Now, one more initiative is going to launch that is exclusively focused on training side, because many of the departments find it difficult to do the trainings in their respective areas. For example, if you're taking KICB, they have difficulty in taking the people to the exact generation area, because there are some safety hazards involved. So the newbies who are coming for the training and all, they will be creating some issues. So to avoid those things, the extended reality, AVGC, uh, virtual reality kind of things, extended reality and virtual reality kind of one initiative is coming up. So that will give a lot of innovators to provide some solutions for the departments, and also for the corporates to provide the training in a remote manner. And another initiative is the Digital Science Park, which is coming at Technopark Phase 4. Currently, the Science Park initiatives is going on, and maybe in another 1 to 2 years, it will be turning into a reality. And the last one is the Semicon mission, which we are actively focusing on, because if you look into the chip side, especially the semiconductor side, we are still lacking a lot of technologies. We don't have much IPs in semiconductors, or maybe the chips below 60 nanometer. So now there is a huge focus towards bringing semiconductor industries to Kerala. As a part of that, I think many industries started coming here. If you look into Kerala ecosystem now, Keynes is present here, and they have already started their activities. So similarly, we are in discussions with 40 plus industries, and we are trying to bring them here, so in order to set up their design and research centers, research and design centers. So once those research and design centers are active, they will be providing some capability development training, skill development training for the students who are part of VLSI design, and also who are having some passion in chip designing and all. So students will be getting an opportunity to work firsthand with these industries, and they will be gaining some good knowledge on these domains. So these are few of the activities that we are focusing. And now I will just give a glimpse about Maker Village. So I hope my video is visible. Is the video audible to you? Can someone respond? Can someone put a thumbs up or something in the chat? So the audio is not visible. Let me once again, I'll reshare my screen. Sorry.
ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് രാജ്യത്ത് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ഹാർഡ്വെയർ വിപ്ലവം ലക്ഷ്യം കണ്ട് കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാർ തുടങ്ങിയ മേക്കർ വില്ലേജ് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പുകൾക്ക് മികച്ച ഇൻക്യുബേഷൻ ഫെസിലിറ്റി ഒരുക്കുകയാണ്. കൊച്ചി കളമശ്ശേരിയിലെ മേക്കർ വില്ലേജ് ഇൻക്യുബേഷൻ ലാബ് രാജ്യത്തെ ഏറ്റവും മികച്ച സൗകര്യങ്ങളാണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് കമ്പനികൾക്കും ഏർലി ഓൺട്രപ്രണേഴ്സിനുമായി ഒരുക്കുന്നത്. മികച്ച ആശയവുമായി എത്തുന്നവർക്ക് പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പും പ്രൊഡക്റ്റുമായി മടങ്ങാനുള്ള എല്ലാ സൗകര്യവും സർക്കാർ ഇവിടെ ഒരുക്കുന്നു.
Electronic demand for electronics goods and services by 2020 is expected to touch 200 billion, and the reason why we have set up the Maker Village is to augment production to meet the demand.
അർപ്പണബുദ്ധിയോടെ അധ്വാനിക്കാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ള ഏതൊരു ചെറുപ്പക്കാരനും അവസരങ്ങളുടെ കലവറ ഇന്നുണ്ട്. കേന്ദ്ര സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാരുകളുടെ ഇന്നൊവേഷൻ സോണുകൾ വിപുലമായ സൗകര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഒരുക്കുന്നത്. കൊച്ചി കിൻഫ്ര പാർക്കിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന മേക്കർ വില്ലേജ് സാങ്കേതിക സൗകര്യങ്ങളിൽ രാജ്യത്തെ തന്നെ മികച്ച ലാബുകളിൽ ഒന്നാണ്. കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാരിന്റെ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ഓഫ് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ടെക്നോളജിയും ഇന്ത്യൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ടെക്നോളജി ആൻഡ് മാനേജ്മെന്റ് കേരളയും കേരള സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് മിഷനും സംയുക്തമായാണ് മേക്കർ വില്ലേജിലെ ഫെസിലിറ്റി ഒരുക്കുന്നത്.
ഈ ഹാർഡ്വെയർ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് മേഖലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന മറ്റ് സംരംഭങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ട് ഒരുക്കി കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ള അടിസ്ഥാന സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ ആണ് എന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. അതിൽ തന്നെ എടുത്തു പറയേണ്ട ചില മേഖലകൾ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ റോബോട്ടിക്സിന് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന പ്രാധാന്യം, ടെസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആൻഡ് മെഷർമെൻറ്റ് ലാബ് ഒരുക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്, SMT ലൈൻ, ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൽ ഗ്രേഡ് മീഡിയം വോളിയം SMT ലൈനാണ്. ഇന്ത്യയിൽ മറ്റൊരു ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് ഇൻക്യുബേറ്ററിനും ഇല്ലാത്ത സൗകര്യമാണ്. ഏതാണ്ട് 25,000 കമ്പണൻസ് പെർ അവർ പ്രോസസ്സ് ചെയ്യാവുന്ന PCB അസംബ്ലി ചെയ്യാവുന്ന SMT ലൈനാണ് ഇവിടെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇതോടൊപ്പം കേരള സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് മിഷന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഫാബ് ലാബും കൂടി ചേരുമ്പോൾ ഒരു പൂർണ്ണമായ സൊല്യൂഷനാണ് മേക്കർ വില്ലേജ് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്.
കൊച്ചിയിൽ 25,000 സ്ക്വയർ ഫീറ്റിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഇൻക്യുബേഷൻ ലാബിന് പുറമെ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തും മേക്കർ വില്ലേജ് ക്യാമ്പസ് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
And Maker Village being the first electronic incubator in the state and perhaps one of the largest electronic incubator in the country is actually leading this movement. This actually can be done not only by the students but even by the SME sector if they prefer.
റോബോട്ടിക് എംബഡഡ് സിസ്റ്റത്തിലും IoTയിലും കൺസ്യൂമർ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സിലുമെല്ലാം പ്രീ ഇൻക്യുബേഷനും ഇൻക്യുബേഷനും ഈ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് ലാബിൽ നൽകുന്നു. രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ വിവിധ ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള പ്രഗത്ഭരായ യുവാക്കളാണ് മികച്ച ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് ഐഡിയയുമായി കൊച്ചിയിലെ മേക്കർ വില്ലേജിൽ എത്തുന്നത്.
We are based out of Hyderabad, and Maker Village here in Kerala seems to have amazing facilities that enable entrepreneurs working in the hardware sector.
Maker Village, more than the actual space, the facilities and the ecosystem that the Maker Village space provides is more important.
I have come from Bangalore. I'm right now in Maker Village. Very fortunate to be part of this program, and I'm amazed at the facilities what this has to offer.
മികച്ച പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പുകൾ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആക്കാനും മാർക്കറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുമായി വേണ്ട ഫണ്ട് കണ്ടെത്തുന്നതിലും മേക്കർ വില്ലേജ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പുകളെ സഹായിക്കുന്നു.
www.makervillage.in അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാം. സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് 2 സ്റ്റേജിലേക്കാണ്. പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് ഇല്ലാത്ത സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ്സ് ആണെങ്കിൽ അവർ പ്രീ ഇൻക്യുബേഷൻ സ്റ്റേജിലേക്കാണ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുക.
Sir, your instructions is not received. You are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So എല്ലാവരും ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് ഇതിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ റെസ്പോൺസസ് ഒന്ന് തരികയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഈസി ഫോർ മീ. കാരണം ലാസ്റ്റ് 3 കൊല്ലത്തിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മേ ബി ലാസ്റ്റ് 3 to 4 years നിങ്ങൾ ആരെങ്കിലും മൊബൈലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മേ ബി എനി ഓഫ് യുവർ ഗാഡ്ജറ്റ്സ് ഇഫ് യു ഹാവ് ചേഞ്ച് പ്ലീസ് ലെറ്റ് മീ നോ. നമുക്ക് ആകെ 3 പേരാണ് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ ദ 3 ഹാസ് നോട്ട് ചേഞ്ച് ദെയർ മൊബൈൽ ഇൻ ലാസ്റ്റ് 3 years. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരും കൂടി ഒന്ന് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ വി ക്യാൻ മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് മോർ ഇൻട്രാക്റ്റീവ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ തന്നെ ജസ്റ്റ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ലെക്ചർ ചെയ്ത് പറഞ്ഞ് പോകുന്ന പോലെ നിങ്ങൾക്കും ബോറടിക്കും. ആൻഡ് I'll keep on saying all the things and you may not be interested in things that so we have 4 so we have more people who have changed their mobile. നിങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പൊ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തവര് വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻ ടു യുവർ ഓൾഡ് മൊബൈൽ എന്നൊന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? മേ ബി അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് ക്യാൻ യു ടെൽ വാട്ട് യു ഡിഡ് വിത്ത് യുവർ ഓൾഡ് മൊബൈൽ? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? വെദർ ഇറ്റ്സ് ബീൻ ഡിസ്കാർഡഡ് ഓർ വെദർ ഇറ്റ്സ് ബീൻ എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച്, എന്താണ് ചെയ്തതെന്നൊന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? ഒന്ന് അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട്. So past 3 years I also changed the mobile twice and the old phones are staying with me just like a occupying my space and all. It's simply staying here. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവര് ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസ് നിങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പൊ ഇതില് 3 yearsന് ഉള്ളിൽ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തവര് എന്താണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ പഴയ ഫോൺ ചെയ്തതെന്നൊന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? So we will proceed. ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്താണ് പഴയ മൊബൈലുകൾ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്? എന്താണ് വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻ ടു ദാറ്റ് പർട്ടിക്കുലർ മൊബൈൽ?
ആ ഡിവൈസ് നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്താ പറയുക, എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് കൊടുക്കുന്ന പോലെ നമ്മൾ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തെടുക്കാണ് നോർമലി ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. സോ വിത്ത് ദ ഒറിജിനൽ ബ്രാൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് സെൽഫ് യു എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ഓർ വിത്ത് സം ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഇ കൊമേഴ്സ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം വഴി എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാണ് ചെയ്തത്? എങ്ങനെയാണ് ചെയ്തത്?
വിത്ത് സം അതർ ബ്രാൻഡ്സ് ഷോപ്പ് വഴി നമ്മൾ എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തെടുക്കും.
നമ്മൾ ഷോറൂം വഴി എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ കൊടുത്തു. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവര് ഐ തിങ്ക് 6 പേര് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവർ വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒപ്പീനിയൻസ് ഉണ്ടോ എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് അല്ലാണ്ട്? എനിത്തിങ് എൽസ് എനിവൺ ഹാവ് ഡിഡ്?
ഡിസ്കാർഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്.
എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഡിസ്കാർഡ് ചെയ്തതെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
അല്ല, നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിൽ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കുകയാണ്, നമ്മളത് മറ്റു ഉപയോഗത്തിനൊന്നും എടുക്കുന്നില്ല. അതിന്റെ ബാറ്ററി ഇതൊക്കെ വളരെ ലോ ആണ്, പിന്നെ ഡേറ്റ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി ഓർത്തിട്ടാണ് കൊടുക്കാത്തത്.
Okay, okay. So many have this concern. കാരണം any electronic gadgets which is connected to the internet will have some data issues. നമ്മുടെ ഇപ്പൊ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു മൊബൈൽ നമ്മൾ എത്ര ഫാക്ടറി റീസെറ്റ് ചെയ്താലും ഇഫ് സമ്മൺ നോസ് ഹൗ ടു ടെക്നിക്കലി സൗണ്ട് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാൾക്ക് ഈസിലി ദേ ക്യാൻ റിക്കവർ ഓൾ ദ ഡാറ്റ പ്രസന്റ് ഇൻ വൺ മൊബൈൽ. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ പല കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കും വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഓൾഡ് ലാപ്ടോപ്സ് എന്ന് എല്ലാം ഇറൈസ് ആയി പോയിട്ടുള്ള ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്കുകൾ അടക്കം വി ആർ ഗീവിംഗ് ടു ദ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ടു റിക്കവർ ദ ഡാറ്റ. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയുള്ളൊരു മേജർ കൺസേൺ ഉണ്ട്, എസ്പെഷ്യലി വിത്ത് ദ മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺസ്, ലാപ്ടോപ്സ്, ഡെസ്ക്ടോപ്സ്, ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്ക് കാര്യങ്ങൾ, ഡാറ്റ സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ വി ഹാവ് ദിസ് മേജർ കൺസേൺ. ഡാറ്റ ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് പോവുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ anyone else can access our private data. So all this is a major concern that keeps the people to keep the devices with them itself. Okay, so we will proceed. രണ്ടുപേര് പറഞ്ഞു, അതേഴ്സ് ഇതല്ലാതെ വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും തരത്തിൽ ഡിസ്കാർഡ് ചെയ്തവരുണ്ടോ? സോ one of the participant, he has exchanged his old phone. One of the participant, he is keeping the mobile with him itself. ഇതല്ലാതെ വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും തരത്തില് എനി ബൈ എനി വേ യു ഹാവ് ഡിസ്കാർഡഡ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു യൂസിനായിട്ട് മാറ്റിവെച്ചു? കാരണം മൊബൈൽ വെച്ച് തന്നെ പല യൂസ് കേസസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും ചെയ്യുന്നതായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കാണാം. ലെറ്റ്സ് ഡിജിറ്റൽ സൈനേജ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. മേ ബി ദ ഓൾഡ് മൊബൈൽസ് ക്യാൻ ബി യൂസ് ടു സെറ്റപ്പ് ഡിജിറ്റൽ സൈനേജസ്. ഓൾഡ് മൊബൈൽസ് ക്യാൻ ബി യൂസ്ഡ് ആസ് എ ടിവിയിലോട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് മേ ബി ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് എ സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ഡിവൈസ് നമുക്ക് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ അങ്ങനെ ആരെങ്കിലും യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നവരുണ്ടോ ഓൾഡ് ഫോൺസ്? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്നാണ് മൈക്ക് അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഈസി ഫോർ മീ. ഓക്കെ, സോ few of them are keeping the old devices with them itself because of this data security issues. Some of them have exchanged the old phones with the showroom or maybe through the e-commerce platforms. So ഇത് കൂടാതെ few of them they will discard the phones to the environment. അതായത് നമ്മൾ ഒരു പ്രോപ്പറായിട്ട് ഡിസ്പോസൽ ഇല്ലാണ്ട് മേ ബി വിൽ ബി ഡിസ്പോസിങ് ഓർ ഡിസ്കാർഡിങ് ദ മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺസ് ഓർ ദ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് ഗാഡ്ജറ്റ്സ് ടു ദ നിയർ ബൈ പ്ലേസസ്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു വേസ്റ്റ് ബിന്നിൽ കൊണ്ടിടുക, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ മേ ബി കോർപ്പറേഷൻ വേസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ അവിടെ കൊണ്ടിടുക. സോ ഓൾ ദീസ് തിങ്സ് വിൽ ക്രിയേറ്റ് സം ഇഷ്യൂസ്. കാരണം നമുക്കറിയാം, if you are looking on to the number of devices that we are handling today, let's say നമ്മുടെ ഹൗസ് ഹോൾഡ് എന്ന് എടുക്കുക. സോ ജസ്റ്റ് മേക്ക് an audit how many electronics devices are there. So you can see lot of LED lamps you are using, LED ട്യൂബുകൾ. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ if you are looking into the kitchen, the hob is there, the microwave ovens is there, OTG ovens are there, refrigerators is there. സോ ഒരുപാട് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് ഡിവൈസസ് നമ്മൾ ഡേ ടു ഡേ ലൈഫിൽ യൂസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. സോ വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ് വൺസ് ഇറ്റ് ഗെറ്റ്സ്, അതായത് ഒരു ടെക്നോളജി മാറുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ ഫോണുകളുടെയൊക്കെ ടെക്നോളജി മേ ബി ഇഫ് യു ആർ ലുക്കിംഗ് ടു ദ ലാസ്റ്റ് 15 years, ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് വന്നു, ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് പ്രോഗ്രസ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ വി റീച്ച്ഡ് ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് 17. സോ എവറി ഡേ ടെക് ഈസ് ഗെറ്റിംഗ് അപ്ഡേറ്റഡ്. ഒരു 15 years ബാക്ക് നമ്മൾ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ദ ക്യാമറ മൊഡ്യൂൾസ് മേ നോട്ട് ബി ഗുഡ് ഇനഫ്, ബട്ട് റൈറ്റ് നൗ വി ആർ ഹാവിംഗ് മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺസ് വിത്ത് എ ക്യാമറ with a zoom of 200x, 150x and all. So because of this technology advancements, we are compelled to move on to the newer technologies. അപ്പം എല്ലാ ഹൗസ് ഹോൾഡ്സിലും ഇതേപോലെ ഔട്ട്ഡേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കുറേ അധികം സാധനങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവും, ഈവൻ ലാപ്ടോപ്പ് ആയാലും ഡെസ്ക്ടോപ്പ് ആയാലും. സോ ഓൾ ദീസ് തിങ്സ് ആസ് ഇഫ് നൗ we will be discarding without any proper എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു പ്രോപ്പർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡിസ്കാർഡിങ് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. സോ എവറിഥിങ് വിൽ ബി എൻഡ് അപ്പ് ഇൻ ദ ലാൻഡ് ഫിൽസ് ഓർ സംതിങ് ലൈക്ക് വൈസ്. സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മേജർ കൺസേൺസ് ഫോർ ദ ഇ വേസ്റ്റ്. സോ ഗ്ലോബലി നമ്മൾ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ tons and tons of waste is getting accumulated. So there were regulations and there were policies to ഹാൻഡിൽ ദിസ് ഇ വേസ്റ്റ് പ്രോപ്പർലി. അതായത് കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ഇ വേസ്റ്റുകൾ കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് പ്രോസസ് ചെയ്ത് അതിൽ നിന്ന് മേ ബി ക്യാൻ വി ഡു ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് എ സർക്കുലർ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് തിങ് തിരിച്ച് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമുള്ള മെറ്റൽസും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ആവശ്യമുള്ള എന്താ പറയുക ആവശ്യമുള്ള കമ്പണൻസും എക്സ്ട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ക്യാൻ വി ഡു ഇറ്റ് എസ് എ ന്യൂ ഡിവൈസ് ഓർ എസ് എ റീഫർബിഷ് ഡിവൈസ്. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഒരു പ്രോപ്പർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള റെഗുലേഷൻസും കാര്യങ്ങളും ഒക്കെ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ regulatory bodies they have released. So as I mentioned, this global e-waste, especially if you are looking into developed nations, they have stricter regulations on handling the e-waste, starting from the manufacturing till the end to the disposal. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡിസ്പോസ് ചെയ്ത് വരുന്ന വരെയുള്ള കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ദാറ്റ് പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഫ്ലോ ഇസ് ബീൻ റെഗുലേറ്റഡ് സ്ട്രിക്ട്ലി. അപ്പോൾ മാനുഫാക്ചേഴ്സ് തന്നെ ദേ ഷുഡ് ടെൽ ഹൗ ടു ഡിസ്പോസ് ആൻഡ് ഹൗ ടു റീസൈക്കിൾ. അതെല്ലാം മാനുഫാക്ചേഴ്സ് സ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മോണിറ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോസസ്സ് ഡെവലപ്ഡ് നേഷൻസിലുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഡ്യൂറിങ് 2010 to 2016 and all, there was a practice where the developed nations used electronics gadgets will be shipped to developing nations. Developed nationsil അത് കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഡിസ്പോസ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഇല്ലാത്ത കാരണം ഇൻ ഹ്യൂജ് ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റീസ് ദീസ് electronics gadgets were shipped to developing nations. So in 2020 there was one regulatory body, they brought up this issue and it was banned. ഇപ്പം പണ്ടത്തെ പോലെ നമുക്ക് ഇ വേസ്റ്റുകൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഔട്ട്ഡേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഗാഡ്ജറ്റ്സ് ഇൻ ബൾക്ക് നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ ഡെവലപ്പിംഗ് നേഷൻസിലോട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വേറൊരു കൺട്രിയിലോട്ട് ക്രോസ് ബോർഡർ ഷിപ്പ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഇല്ല. ബട്ട് ഏർലിയർ ബൈ ലോ ഇറ്റ് വാസ് പോസിബിൾ. ബട്ട് നൗ strict regulations has been brought in place where the manufacturers cannot ship huge quantities of electronic gadgets cross border. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഇപ്പോൾ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. So anyone can assume like globally how much tons of waste is getting generated. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഐഡിയ ഉണ്ടോ നമുക്ക് ഗ്ലോബലി ഏകദേശം എത്രമാത്രം ഇ വേസ്റ്റ് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത്? ക്യാൻ എനിവൺ ക്യാൻ പ്രൊവൈഡ് എ റഫ് ഫിഗർ? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? നിങ്ങളുടെ സെയിം സെന്റിമീറ്ററിൽ യു ക്യാൻ പുട്ട് യുവർ കമന്റ്സ് ലൈക്ക് ദിസ് മച്ച് ഇ വേസ്റ്റ് ഈസ് ബീങ് ജനറേറ്റഡ്, ലൈക്ക് 10,000 tons, 20,000 tons, 1 lakh tons, 1 million tons. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ നിങ്ങളുടെ സെന്റിമീറ്ററിൽ? സോ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? ജനറൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. So as I mentioned earlier, if we look into any households, there are a large number of devices we are using in our day-to-day life. If you're looking back 10-15 years back, the number of devices that we were using were very less. But now if we look, every home, they will be having the refrigerators, the ACs, the lights, the mobile phones, the IT devices, televisions, set-top boxes. So lot of devices we are using in our everyday life. Actually we are living in a EMI EMC, like what we say, an electromagnetic center of an electromagnetic field. So can you just drop a rough figure like how much e-waste is generated annually in a global scale? Just ഒന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ ഗ്ലോബലി നമ്മൾ ഏകദേശം എത്രമാത്രം ഇ വേസ്റ്റ് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെന്നുള്ളത്? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് mindy.com പോവുക, ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ ആ QR കോഡ് സ്കാൻ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ യു വിൽ ബി ഏബിൾ ടു ആൻസർ. അതർവൈസ് യു ക്യാൻ പുട്ട് ദ കോഡ് ദർ, so you will be able to answer. And others also can view, others also will be able to know what's the kind of waste being generated. Even നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിൽ തന്നെ നോക്കുക, മേ ബി ഓവർ എ പീരിയഡ് ഓഫ് ലാസ്റ്റ് 7 to 8 years, how many electronic devices you have discarded. റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക്? Because I cannot see any responses here.
2022 62 million.
Okay. Okay, 62 million. Others, any other figures? നമുക്ക് 2026 ഡാറ്റ അവൈലബിൾ അല്ല. 2025 ഡാറ്റയും കുറവാണ്. Maybe I will, if anyone is keen on researching these areas, I will share you some links where you can find the details of how much e-waste being generated on a global scale. Indian data also is not accurate. We have a government site which shares all the necessary details regarding the e-waste generation and all. So someone is putting around 5 kg of e-waste has been generated last year or maybe last 2 years. Others also you can just put a rough figure. So for me also it will be like 3 to 5 kilos in last 2 years. A rough figure maybe from your day-to-day life you can just put some rough figures, maybe on a local scale, on a national scale, or maybe or an international scale you can put. So let's assume here we have close to 50 faculties. So for me, someone is putting 50 million. What will be the unit, whether it's tons or kgs? 50 million kgs or 50 million tons? Okay, 50 million tons. So here itself, we can just assume that one person he's responding like 5 kg waste in last 1 or 2 years. Someone is responding 5. So here we have close to 50 faculties attending this program. So altogether, if you are looking, it will be around 250 kilos of e-waste being generated annually. So that's a very huge amount of waste being generated. So what happens to all this waste? Usually എന്താണ് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്? What happens to the components? What happens to the different materials? So maybe recently you'd have read about one news came in the dailies telling that one of the areas like their well is having some certain kind of enhancements in the pH levels. അവർ ഒരു ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൽ എസ്റ്റേറ്റിന്റെ അടുത്താണുള്ളത്. So it's been a news for last 1 or 2 weeks. So some of you may have noticed. So this is exactly what is happening. Because when we try to dispose something to the land, or maybe if we are dumping carelessly somewhere, this will release lot of components to the environment. So this is just an exploded view of a PCB. So what are the different types of components present there? What are the different types of metals, or what are the different types of materials being used? Sorry. അപ്പം ഇതെല്ലാം നമ്മൾ കെയർലെസ്ലി ഡിസ്പോസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എവറിത്തിങ് വിൽ എൻഡ് അപ്പ് ഇൻ ദ ലാൻഡ് ഫിൽ ഓർ മേ ബി ഇൻ ദ ലാൻഡ്. സോ അൾട്ടിമേറ്റ്ലി ഓവർ എ പീരിയഡ് ഓഫ് ടൈം ഓൾ ദീസ് തിങ്സ് വിൽ കം ടു ദ സോയിൽ. സോ നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, മേ ബി ഇഫ് ഹെവി മെറ്റൽസ് ഇസ് കമ്മിങ് ടു അവർ വാട്ടർ, ഡ്രിങ്കിങ് വാട്ടർ, ഓർ മേ ബി ഇറ്റ്സ് കമ്മിങ് ടു ദ സോയിൽ, ഇറ്റ് കീപ്സ് ഓൺ മൂവിങ് ടു ദ ഫുഡ് ചെയിൻ ഓൾസോ. കാരണം ഇത് ഹെവി മെറ്റൽസ് നമ്മുടെ ഡ്രിങ്കിങ് വാട്ടർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മേ ബി ടു ദ ലാൻഡ്സ് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി റീച്ചിങ് ദ ഹ്യൂമൻസ് ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി കോസിങ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ഇഷ്യൂസ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറയാണ്ട് തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം വാട്ട്സ് ദ എഫക്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഹെവി മെറ്റൽസ്. ആൻഡ് നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ വീട്ടിൽ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫിൽറ്റേഴ്സ്, ദ ഫിൽറ്റേഴ്സ് ദേ ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് ദ കാപ്പബിലിറ്റി ഓഫ് റിമൂവിങ് ദ ഹെവി മെറ്റൽസ്. ആൻഡ് ഫ്യൂ പ്ലാൻസ്, കുറച്ച് റിസർച്ചുകളൊക്കെ it was ongoing, or many researches have been done on certain types of plant which have the capability of absorbing the heavy metals. So if you are disposing something carelessly to the environment, it will be releasing a lot of heavy metals and a lot of components to the environment, polluting the entire system. So this is just a snapshot of an exploded view of a PCB. So you can see a number of things being released to the environment. So along with this, we can see there are many of these items can be recovered. നിങ്ങൾ പല യൂട്യൂബ് വീഡിയോസും കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടായിരിക്കും. Maybe from PCB, gold is being recovered, and many expensive materials like silver, palladium, gold, all these things being recovered. So that's exact thing most of the scrappers are doing. കാരണം നമ്മുടെ ഇ വേസ്റ്റ് കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒഫീഷ്യലി കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഗ്രൂപ്പുകളാണെങ്കിലും മെനി ഓഫ് ദ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സ് ദേ ട്രൈ ടു എക്സ്ട്രാക്ട് ദ കോസ്റ്റ്ലി മെറ്റീരിയൽസ് ഫ്രം ദ വേസ്റ്റ്. അത് ദേ ഹാവ് എ ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് പ്രോസസ്. അതായത് അത് ഗ്രൈൻഡിങ് തൊട്ട് ഷ്രെഡിങ് തൊട്ട് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ കെമിക്കൽ ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റ്സ് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഇതൊക്കെ ത്രൂ they will be extracting the expensive materials. Similarly, whenever we do these kind of activities, the chemicals that we used will in turn become another pollutant. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കേരളത്തിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഇഫ് യു ആർ ടേക്കിംഗ് കേരള let's take the case of Maker Village. So Maker Village or IIoT census. In IIoT census, we have a fabrication PCB fabrication line. So every time we use a PCB fabrication line for prototyping purposes and all, there is an etching process. So mostly we use multiple ways. One of the process where we create multi-layer PCBs is through etching, where there is a dedicated line for that. So when we put the copper clad boards or different types of PCB boards in the chemical, this metal will be etched by the chemical, and some electroplating kind of activities will be happening. That chemical, after a period of time, it need to be disposed. But we cannot blindly throw away the chemical to the environment, because now corporation and municipalities, they have strict rules where they will be monitoring how these chemicals or how these waste materials are discarded from every industry, not only from IoT sensors or maybe from Maker Village. So from every industry, so who are doing this manufacturing activities, the corporations or the municipalities or the local bodies, they will be monitoring how these wastes are being discarded. So even as a government entity, if we discard without carelessly outside, it will be creating a lot of issues, and we will be given a hefty fine. So but in the case of electronics, if we are disposing as it is, the regulations are not that strict now to create some fines and all. But maybe in another 3 to 4 years, these regulations will be becoming more stricter, and all the devices, it need to be it need to be provided to some agencies who officially collect this e-waste. So that kind of strict regulations may come in another 3 to 4 years, because the as most of you have mentioned, the amount of e-waste is getting piled up. So as I mentioned earlier, this is just a question to you or to all the participants here. Can we consider this e-waste as an opportunity to initiate some kind of innovations? Can we extract some of the expensive materials? Can we resell those things? Even maybe if you are surfing through many of the shorts, YouTube shorts, you can see many people, they do some kind of upcycling, not for the electronic side, maybe for different types of waste. You can see a lot of upcycling videos. Some of them, they will take the waste, they will process it, and they will sell the byproducts. You can see a lot of YouTube videos likewise. So is there a possibility that we can treat e-waste in similar manner? Can we convert the e-waste into a different kind of thing? Or maybe can we do an upcycling? Can we do a refurbishing? So some of you may have noticed in most of the e-commerce platforms, there is a new area where you can see refurbished electronics items, especially the mobile phones. You can see refurbished mobile phones, and many of the electronic gadgets also now you can get refurbished for a half the cost of the new one. So whether it's a good idea to buy the refurbished ones? So that's another area where many of the startups or many of the industries are coming up. They take the old product, they will go through a detailed scrutiny of the product. They will go through multiple checkpoints, and they will ensure that they are replacing the faulty ones or the near faulty ones, and they will ensure that this device will be as good as the new one. So trusted service providers or trusted manufacturers, they provide the refurbished one as good as the new one. So those kind of activities, it may reduce the number of, or it may reduce the amount of waste being disposed to the nearest place, or to the environment. So similarly, we will look into one of the activities, or maybe I'll just walk you through one video where you can see phones, or how the phones are being used in a different manner, how the uh, waste is converted to money. And also, some of you may be knowing maybe the old iPhones in US and all, it's being recycled to extract all the rare earth minerals and all the expensive materials, all the expensive metals to build the new phones, which is being supplied in the developing nations. We'll just go through the old phone recycling, or how the old phones can be converted to some uh, financial benefit and all. We will just see. So as we discussed, the e-waste may be considered as a opportunity for the innovators to transform to some financial components. So from the video itself, you may be knowing what are the different types of expensive materials that we can extract from the uh, what all expensive materials we can extract from the e-waste. So as you know, if you look into Kerala, we have a population more than 3 crores maybe at least 60-70% of these people, they will be using the mobile phones. And if you look into the life cycle of a mobile phone, or maybe the usage, what we say, the lifetime of a mobile phone with a user, it will be like 5 to 8 years, or maybe 3 to 8 years, maybe depending upon the user. So let's assume every 6 to 8 years, this huge number of mobile phones is getting into a waste. So how effectively we can recycle these things? So one thing, as I mentioned before, refurbishing is one way, and the other way is like converting it into or extracting the expensive minerals or expensive elements from this waste. But if you're looking to the initial investment for the recycling thing, it will be very huge. Maybe like it comes in crores. So how we can effectively do that thing? And the space also is a very big constraint. If you look into Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the most number of battery recycling plants, or maybe the battery plants, will be more in Tamil Nadu because it requires a huge space. And as I mentioned earlier, the treatment of chemicals, the treatment of different things that we are using for extraction of the rare earth metals and all, it requires a huge space. So all these things need to be considered, and all these things can be considered as the problem statements that we can take in what we can consider. And നല്ലൊരു റിസർച്ചിലോട്ട് maybe it will help you to do some good research. So when we look into a electronic gadgets, usually this will be the life cycle. And now most of you may have heard about this carbon footprints, carbon credits. So maybe in another by 27 or 28, most of the industries will be mandated to follow this carbon credit rules and all. This Vara golden standards kind of things you may have heard about. So similarly, when we manufacture one equipment, let's say one mobile phone, it is emitting certain amount of carbon. So earlier there was a discussion, like a debate, like when we use an electric vehicle, whether it's environment friendly. So many people were telling like the huge amount of water required for manufacturing of lithium ion batteries is kind of very huge, like 5 lakh liters and all, for a single kilowatt hour. So when we really look into the environment friendliness, EVs are not that friendly. So there were a lot of debates. So maybe for every equipments being manufactured, there is certain amount of carbon being released, the electricity being used, the kind of raw materials being used. So some mining is required for extracting this raw materials. So there will be huge amount of natural resources being used, and for all these natural resources, certain amount of carbon will be emitted to the environment. So whether can we how whether we can do whether we can bring a reduction in this carbon, uh, giving the carbon to the environment? Can we sequestrate some amount of carbon? Like can we capture some amount of carbon by some recycling activities? So all these things are becoming more relevant in today's world. Maybe in another 3 or 4 years, we'll be seeing all these regulations coming into picture. Currently, 1,000 industries were selected, big industries were selected, and I think already the pilot has been completed on the carbon credit part. So now the regulations has been formed, and now whichever industry is sending out more carbon, they need to buy the carbon credits. So it may come from farmers, or it may come from the renewable energy providers. So such kind of things we will be seeing in near future. So let's look into the life cycle assessment. So the large industries, they will be looking into the life cycle assessment of each of their devices, the entire gadgets they're using, the entire machineries they're using. They will be having some kind of softwares which will be used to look into this life cycle assessment. So many of you may have heard about this digital twins. So this digital twins also maybe will be becoming a common thing in another 2 to 3 years, where all the industries can be remotely monitored with a exact copy of the machine activities happening in a control room, so they can see how the machine is working, what's the kind of vibrations, what's the kind of temperature it's or what's the kind of vibrations it's having, what's the kind of sound it's having. So based on that, they will be able to do some kind of predictive maintenance, and they can extend the lifetime. And also you may have heard about this modular concept, uh, uh, where most of the machines, let's say, let's take the example of electric vehicle charges. So earlier, if you look into the electric vehicle charges, the two different types of charges, the AC slow charges and DC fast charges, once we install the machine, then there is no possibility for upgradation. But if you look into the new charges, let's say the DC fast charges like 180 kilowatt or maybe above 200 kilowatt fast charges, now these machines come as modular things, so you don't need to replace the machine. Instead of that, you can purchase another module. You can add this module to the existing one, and you can increase the capacity. So such kind of modular activities, also modular kind of devices, also becoming popular nowadays. So every industry or every people, they need to assess the life cycle of the gadgets they are using. So let's break down. Maybe if you're looking to the manufacturing of any electronic gadgets, it requires some kind of metals that's coming from the nature. So some kind of mining activities will be happening. There will be certain kind of natural resource being utilized. So based on that, the resources being extracted, and the raw materials will be treated, and it will be brought, or it will be sent to the industries. So once it reaches the industries, it will be used for the production side. So once the production is done, then the next big part is like the logistics. If you look into the phones that we are using today, the components may not be manufactured at a single place. The different components present in our mobile will be coming from different parts of the world. For example, the semiconductor, the chips, the processors, it may be coming from Korea or maybe US, or maybe some big players outside India. Even when we look into a single processor, the raw materials used for that single processor will be coming from different parts of the world. For example, the processor being manufactured in US, it requires raw materials from Africa, China, and all. So the logistics part is very important one. So here you can see, once the product is formed or when the product is manufactured, it need to be shipped to different retail shops, or maybe to the different areas where it need to be marketed. So once the logistics part need to happen, it need to be well packaged, and it need to be transported in a safe manner. So the packaging industry, the logistics industry, everything will be coming into the picture. So once the product is being sold, then it will be with the user for a particular period of time. Then the possibility for the product is either end up in the scrap, or maybe it will be going for refurbishing, or the other possibilities like it will be sent to extract the things present in that particular product. So the product will be staying with the user for a particular amount of time, and then it will be sent for any of these possibilities. So multiple possibilities are there. So based on the disposal way that the user is selecting, it may be either reused, or it may be going to some other user after proper refurbishing and all, or it may be disposed. So once it is being disposed, it need to be recycled. You all will be knowing about the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So based on the uh, disposal thing, based on the agency or based on the regulations available in a particular area, the disposed electronic waste will be used for multiple purposes. So all the necessary things, all the components and all the expensive things will be extracted from the discarded thing, and it will be reused for the new product. So the recycling happens, and all the things that cannot be reused, it will be sent for proper waste treatment. It can be burning, maybe some kind of incinerator mechanism, huge incinerators which may generate energy. So in you may have seen few videos where Chinese, they are building a huge incinerator uh, which powers some of their cities, like creating a steam turbine kind of thing. So that kind of waste disposal may happen, or maybe based on the regulatory bodies, uh, uh, there will be disposal happening. So all the things extracted, again it goes to the new production part. So there what happens is like, when we have these materials with us, we have less dependency on the natural resources. So it may affect the carbon emissions. So it may essentially reduce the carbon emissions, because we need to go from the scratch. Already we have extracted some of the things from the um, old ones, and that can be used for new products and all. So we will see one video where just how a laptop, or just one, I'm taking the life cycle assessment of one laptop. Let's see what is happening. It will be going through different stages, like from the, as we mentioned, it will be coming to the user. From the user it will be disposed, and how it's being disposed, what are the different parts of a laptop. Like if you look into the laptop in front of you, you can see there is a lot of plastic. There is a plastic enclosure, there is a glass type screen you are having. Inside you can see the PCB kind of thing, which holds all the necessary processes, the hard disk, everything. So how it's being disposed, or how the laptop life cycle happens, we will just go through a video. മാഡം പറയൂ. ഇല്ല, എൻ്റെ അറിവിലൊന്നും ഞാൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ അത് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു മെയിൽ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അങ്ങനെ എന്താണ്. എന്തായാലും നമുക്ക് നാളെ അത് സോർട്ട് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ഞാൻ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് നോക്കിയിട്ട് കണ്ടില്ല. ഞാൻ ആ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ഇരിക്കുകയാണെന്ന് എനിക്കൊരു സംശയം. ആണോ? നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് തന്നെയാണോ അത്? നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ഞാനൊന്ന് ഞാനൊന്ന് അവർക്കൊരു കൺഫർമേഷൻ മെയിൽ പറയും. എനിക്ക് ഞാനൊന്ന് കിട്ടുമോ? 9:30 രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ 9:30 മതി. ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം കൂടെ ചെയ്ത്. ഇല്ല 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 പണിക്കാർ വന്ന് ഏതെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാൻ അറിയില്ല. Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this video, normally video, most of the things what we discussed in life cycle assessment, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താണ് ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റിന്റെ ജേണി എന്നുള്ളത് most of you would have seen. So starting from the beginning, like say from the manufacturing, what happens to an electronic gadgets, എങ്ങനെയാണ് അത് യൂസേഴ്സ് ത്രൂ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ once it is being discarded, എങ്ങനെയാണ് അത് പ്രോപ്പർ ആയിട്ട് ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ ദാറ്റ് പാർട്ട് വി ഹാവ് സീൻ. So this is what happening in India also. നമുക്കും സെയിം പ്രോസസ്സ് തന്നെയാണ് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നമ്മൾ ഫോളോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ബട്ട് ഇഫ് യു ലുക്ക് ഇൻ ടു ദ ഡിസ്പോസൽ സൈഡ്, ഇറ്റ്സ് ലെസ് സ്ട്രക്ചേർഡ്. കാരണം നമുക്ക് പലപ്പോഴും മേ നോട്ട് ബി പ്രോപ്പർലി ഡിസ്പോസ്ഡ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് റീസൈക്ലേഴ്സിൽ എത്തണമെന്നില്ല. കെയർലെസ്ലി നമ്മൾ പലയിടത്തും ഡിസ്പോസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടാവാം. So maybe in the previous video we have seen that one of the major concern with the waste disposal അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റീസൈക്ലേഴ്സിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം one of the major concern is the segregation. So many innovators, many startups, they come up with novel ideas to segregate the things. കാരണം പലപ്പോഴും ഈവൻ നമ്മുടെ കോളേജുകളിലായാലും മേ ബി റെയിൽവേ സ്റ്റേഷൻസ് ഓർ എനിവർ വി ക്യാൻ സീ waste bins with different colors. So earlier it was like red and blue, on the organic, and the other one is for inorganic waste. So similarly there will be bins for e-waste also, but it's less common in Kerala. But outside Kerala, if you're visiting Delhi, or maybe if you're visiting um, Bangalore and all, you can see in this e-waste disposal bins also. Outside India, Middle East ഒക്കെ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാലും you can see this kind of disposal bins. So maybe in another or in near future, you will be seeing all these disposal bins for e-waste in a different color or not. പക്ഷെ അവിടെ again the issue is like we are confused with the colors. ബ്ലൂ എന്തിനാണ്, ഗ്രീൻ എന്തിനാണ്, മെഡിക്കൽ വേസ്റ്റിന്റെ ചിലപ്പോൾ it will be in a different color. So we mistakenly will put or we will interchange the things and put. So segregation will become a very difficult thing. As organic and inorganic, it's a very difficult process. So many novel ideas are coming in the segregation side. Many novel ideas are coming in the e-waste management side. Every month we get at least 3 to 4 startups pitching some kind of e-waste disposal ideas. So it varies from EV batteries, it varies from the recycling of laptops or maybe mobile phones or different electronic gadgets. So multiple startup ideas we are getting every month. But again, on the practical side or on the sustainable side, most of the startups, it's very challenging for them to go beyond certain levels. So one of the primary concern is the segregation part. So multiple vision-based solutions has been brought in, but again, on the practical side, the effect was very less. സോ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഒരു അവയർനെസ് പോലെ മേ ബി സെഗ്രിഗേഷൻ ഇൻ ദ സോഴ്സ് ഇറ്റ് സെൽഫ് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്. സോ റൈറ്റ് നൗ വി ഡു ദ വെറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഡ്രൈ വേസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ ദ സോഴ്സ് ഇറ്റ് സെൽഫ്. വിൽ സെഗ്രിഗേറ്റ് ദ maybe some of you will be talking to the Green Army people in your households areas. So they will mandate like you need to keep all the plastics in one place. You need to keep you should not keep the organic waste along with that. You should be washing the plastic waste properly. So that's the segregation part. So similarly, e-waste also will be having the same issue, and maybe there are also some regulations will be coming soon. So we will be similar to the Green Army people. People will be coming to your home to collect this e-waste. Organizational level, it was happening maybe 2 or 3 years back. There was a drive by IEEE who did e-waste collection from all the organizations, and it's been given to an agency outside Kerala to properly dispose, to properly uh, extract all the necessary, all the good minerals things from this discarded waste and all. So such kind of activities will be going on. I hope most of you got a thorough idea um, how the life cycle of a electronic gadgets is happening, and what are the different levels, or what are the different stakeholders or levels present in that life cycle. And most of the industries now use different kinds of softwares to assess this life cycle. So they will have the correct details like what are the inventory, or the what are the kind of electronic gadgets in the inventory they're having, what are the kind of equipments they're having, what are the kind of instruments they're having. So they keep track of each and every devices, and every time some fault occurs, they will have some kind of recycling mechanism, or there will be some kind of SOPs that they will be following to dispose it properly. So I hope most of the educational organizations also follow this kind of auditing, because if you are following 5S or maybe internal audits are happening, most of the educational organizations, there will be an audit happening in the lab level. So they will be counting the number of laptops, the number of desktops, the furniture count, everything will be taken, or that audit will be done. And whenever some devices becomes faulty, it will be informed during that audit, and there will be some assessment made on that faulty device, and based on the recommendation it will be discarded. So earlier, when I was working with one of the when I was working with the TBI, what we used to do is like we collect the all the e-waste from the organization, and maybe one lab, if there is a small issue with the system like the SMPS issue or maybe the hard disk issue, they will be scrapping the entire desktop. So if you are looking to multiple desktops coming from different labs, maybe with the 2 or 3 desktops we'll be able to create a new one, not new one, create a working one. So that kind of activities we used to do. So every electronics equipment being discarded will have certain kind of, or a good number of things that we can reuse in um, some other applications. You can search for some videos where the old disk drives being used for creating 3D printers, creating 3D creating laser engravers and all. So the old motors being from all these devices being used to control the XYZ directions. And many young minds, they try to create some kind of plotters, some kind of 3D printing devices or some laser engraver kind of things. So you can see a lot of videos where this old device is being used. So now we will look into the policies and regulations again. The policies and regulations keep on evolving, and as if now, if we look into the policies and regulations, we have few directives like the V directive, the ROHS. So this ROHS will be familiar for you because many places you have seen this ROHS logo. So this ROHS logo is nothing but the. Am I audible to you? No. Hello. Can someone respond whether I'm audible or not?
Audible ആണ് sir.
Okay, okay. സോ നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ ഗാഡ്ജറ്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ മേടിക്കുമ്പോൾ ROHS എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ലോഗോ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. CEE, FCC, ROHS എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. സോ എനിവൺ നോട്ടീസ് ദാറ്റ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ലോഗോസ്? ആരെങ്കിലും ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ? നമ്മുടെ ഗാഡ്ജറ്റ്സിന്റെ പുറത്തുള്ള സ്റ്റിക്കറിൽ ചില ലോഗോസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. സോ ഹാവ് എനിവൺ നോട്ടീസ് ദോസ് തിങ്സ്? ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യും. So what this ROHS means, what this CE means, what this FCC means, any ideas? Just on the chat tell me. If you have difficulty in unmuting, you can just put in the chat. എന്താണ് ROHS? എന്താണ് CE? Okay. So CE and FCC are standards which the devices need to follow. Communication standards and കാര്യങ്ങളും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ EMI, EMC regulations ഒക്കെ ബേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് CE സർട്ടിഫിക്കേഷനും FCC ഒക്കെ വരുന്നത്. ROHS stands for Restriction of Hazardous Substances. So നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഡിവൈസിൽ there is no hazardous substances. ROHS is a regulation that need to be strictly followed. നമുക്കും നമ്മുടെ ബ്യൂറോ ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ്സ് കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ, so they will be looking into these kind of things. So it strictly limits heavy metals and toxins like lead, mercury, cadmium, and chromium kind of stuffs to be these kind of things need not to be included in the production of the what we say this electronic gadgets. And this V directive is coming under the European Union, and it provides directives for the manufacturers, where every manufacturer is responsible for the device that they are manufacturing. So even after it reaches the user, how that device is being disposed. So there is certain responsibility for every manufacturer. They need to provide the directives clearly. So when you are purchasing a new TV or not, when you are purchasing a new TV or maybe any good standard gadgets from a non-manufacturer or a good manufacturer, if you look into the that manual, so you can see somewhere how to dispose this gadget, how to contact the manufacturer, and you can see some kind of QR codes or something likewise, where where there will be some certain unique codes which you need to provide. So the manufacturer in their manual itself, they will be telling how it need to be disposed. So that's the V directive telling, where they mention it as extended producer responsibility, and they call it as EPR. So that's one directive we can see, or maybe in the established or the what we say some big players, you can see in their manuals they would have mentioning these kind of things. And the Basel Convention, as we discussed earlier, it's a directive for the cross-border transportation of the electronic gadgets. So as I mentioned earlier, maybe 10 or 15 years back, most of the electronic waste being generated in developed nations were shipped in bulk quantities to developing nations. So that's been prevented through the Basel Convention. So the cross-border movement of hazardous waste, it's being prohibited, and also it targets controls the cross-border movement of hazardous waste from developed to developing countries. So that's one important action being taken, because otherwise, if we look into our nation, yeah, it would have flooded with a lot of refurbished gadgets. Still, you can see a lot of gadgets, but again, it can happen illegally. Legally, it will not be possible nowadays. So, this policies, why these regulations and why these policies? So, as you know, whatever things we do, if we are not getting proper regulations and all, what we do is like we will informally or without any standard procedures, we will dispose. Some will burn the products, some will simply throw the products into the fire, creating lot of hazardous fumes, toxic emissions and all. We will carelessly dispose these things in the soil, which creates the toxic materials present in the electronic gadgets to get uh, that will cause contamination of our groundwater. So every day, maybe in the dailies, you will be reading this kind of news. Maybe in some industries will be creating some concerns. Sometimes the households will be creating concerns. I think today's newspaper daily was holding some kind of news where the electronics waste being dumped. Sorry, electronics waste being dumped carelessly in one area, like an open well or something likewise. So every nearby households, they're facing some issues with the pH levels. So that kind of concerns may come. And based on the regulations and policies, you can see, based on the V directive, you can see multiple different categorization of this e-waste. So if I am putting one categorization under the V directive. So here you can see whatever devices we are using, it can be classified under any one of the category mentioned here. So the first category is like a temperature exchange equipment. So let's say the heaters that we are using, the kind of air conditioners we are using, or maybe refrigerators, everything comes under this temperature exchange equipments. Now, the desktops, laptops, mobiles, the TVs, everything comes under the screens and monitors. It's the second category. So here you can see 6 different categories. So the screens, the monitors, the equipment. So based on their size, based on the kind of equipment, it's being categorized. So I'll just go through the categories. The first one, temperature exchange equipment. The second one, screens and monitors. The third one, the lights that we use, considered as categorized as lamps. Large equipment, small equipment, and small IT and telecommunication equipment based on the size. So these are the categories mentioned under the V directive. So that's a likewise, there are more categorization of e-waste based on different regulations. So that also I'll share, maybe the link I will share with you all. So you can see you can go through all the directives, like some 100-page note, different types of amendments being made. So I will just share the links, everything. And if you look into the policies and regulations in India, there are certain rules and regulations that we follow and being mandated by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So the e-waste regulatories or the e-waste policies been started in India, or maybe it came to effective in India since 2011. But the regulation or the mandates, the rules, everything been formalized in 2022. So there were multiple amendments happened last 4 or 5 years. So again, under that, multiple considerations are there. So all these policies and regulations applies to every manufacturer, producer, refurbisher, dismantlers, and whoever handling the e-waste or electronic equipments. And under the policies and regulations, if you go through the policies, if you read the policies, certain exemptions are there, like the how the waste batteries need to be disposed, how it need to be recycled, the plastic packaging or the packaging materials of the electronic gadgets, and the micro enterprises present in the service sector, where they do some kind of cleaning chemicals, some kind of uh, those who generate the electronic waste in a very micro levels, and handling of radioactive materials. So these kind of things are not explicitly mentioned in the policies and regulations. And also, again, in our policies, also this extended producer responsibility is being mentioned. So I'll just share the link to our government regulations. So there you can see all the necessary amendments came in, all the necessary rules and regulations. So this is the India government site where all the rules and regulations are mentioned. And it's mandatory for every manufacturer to get registered in this portal, and they need to provide certain disclosures, and they need to tell the government how they are planning to uh, recycle or how to dispose their things. So all these things are being mentioned here. So here you can see under the e-waste rules, the first or the officially the rules were launched in 2022, and it tells how different stakeholders present in this industry need to handle the gadgets, how to handle the waste and all. And multiple amendments has been made for this different rules and all. So all these things you can see here. So if you are planning to do some kind of core researches, or maybe at a later stage through your students, or maybe through your innovations, if you are planning to do a startup in the recycling industry, or maybe on an electronic manufacturing side, you should definitely think of creating a registry here. You need to be part of the e-waste management system. So this portal is completely maintained as per the norms and regulations put forward by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. So all the necessary directives coming under Government of India, you can see under this portal. So there also they clearly mention what are the responsibilities for a manufacturer, whether they shall manufacture one product and simply sell to the market. That's not the responsibility for a manufacturer. They should ensure that the product reach back to proper recycling or maybe proper disposal. That need to be ensured by the manufacturer itself. So this is just a proposed framework for e-waste statistics as per the V directive. So here you can see the production trade happening at one part, and once the gadget comes into the market, it will be going to the consumers. And once the life cycle, or maybe once the gadgets get faulty, it need to be treated in a proper manner. So there should be mechanisms to formally collect the e-waste. Should be a formal mechanisms to recycle the things. So these kind of activities need to be followed as per the V directive. So now let us look more detail into this extended producer responsibility. So we will go through one video and we will see what all, what all things are being what all things multiple brands are doing. So we'll just see the case study of Apple, where how they effectively convert their old phones to new ones, how effectively they extract the things, and how effectively they reduce the carbon footprints. All these things is being mentioned in the this particular video. Only sorry, I think you're not hearing the sound of the video. I will just reshare it once again.
Basically, clearing up that which is very tricky to clear up. So Apple does its best to extract value from your old iPhone, whether by selling it to a less fussy third party or recycling its precious resources back into raw materials for new products. What do you think? Is Apple doing enough to compensate for the environmental impact of its FOMO-inducing hardware? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more carefully recycled tech content.
As a lawyer, my life runs on drafts, petitions, and contracts, and sometimes one document can make or break the client's case. And with work spread across devices, it's my responsibility
Sorry again, some glitch happened. Sorry for that. Is my screen visible to all of you? സ്ക്രീൻ കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ എൻ്റെ?
ഇപ്പൊ വിസിബിൾ ആണ് സാർ.
ഇപ്പൊ ഓഡിബിൾ ആണോ ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്?
യെസ് സാർ,
കാരണം എൻ്റെ
ഓഡിബിൾ ആണ്.
ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക് മ്യൂട്ടായി പോവാണ് എൻ്റെ.
ഇപ്പൊ ഓഡിബിൾ ആണ്.
ഓക്കെ. സോ താങ്ക് യു ഫോർ ദ കൺഫർമേഷൻ. സോ നമ്മൾ വീഡിയോയിൽ കണ്ട പോലെ ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ആപ്പിൾ, ഓൾ ബിഗ് പ്ലേയേഴ്സ് ദേ വിൽ ഹാവ് ദെയർ ഓൺ മെത്തേഡ്സ്, ബട്ട് ദേ നീഡ് ടു എൻഷുർ ദാറ്റ് ദ old phones or old gadgets does not end up as a landfill, or it should not be disposed carelessly. അപ്പോൾ അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള സ്ട്രിക്റ്റർ നോംസ് ആൻഡ് റെഗുലേഷൻസ് ഇന്ത്യയിലും വന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. സോ യു ക്യാൻ സീ ഇൻ ദ വെബ്സൈറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഹാവ് ഷെയർഡ്, you can see these regulations coming up in place. So maybe in future, or maybe in very near future, you can see all these things. I was just talking about the kind of e-waste being generated in all the colleges. So let it be a computer science department, electrical department, or electronics department. Every labs will have some kind of e-waste being generated every year. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ സയൻസ് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ there will be some computer facilities available. So every year there will be certain computers with some kind of fault happening. Maybe sometimes the SMPS will be having some issues. Sometimes the RAM will be having some issues. From every labs there will be considerable amount of waste being generated. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ when we look into our students, they come up with a lot of innovative gadgets every year. Maybe some different types of projects they will be coming up. And few of the projects it will be converted to some good products, but most of the projects they remain as a demo kind of thing in your labs or maybe in some expo areas. But over a period of time this will stop working and it will turn to a e-waste. So is there any policy in place for all the colleges or the participating colleges, how you handle the e-waste generating in your colleges? Sorry. നിങ്ങളുടെ കോളേജുകളിൽ വരുന്ന ഇ വേസ്റ്റുകൾ നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നു? ഇസ് ദർ എനി സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് പ്രൊസീജിയർ ടു ഹാൻഡിൽ ദിസ് ഇ വേസ്റ്റ്? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചാറ്റിലൊന്ന് കമന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ വെദർ എനി ഓഫ് ദ കോളേജസ് ഹാവിങ് എ റിട്ടൺ പോളിസി ഹൗ ടു ഹാൻഡിൽ ദിസ് തിങ്സ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇത് എന്താ പറയാ ഓരോ ഗാഡ്ജറ്റ്സും വെദർ ഇറ്റ്സ് ബീയിങ് സ്ക്രാപ്പ് ടു സം വെൻഡേഴ്സ്, എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു പോളിസി സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റോ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇതിലൊന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റും. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഐ വിൽ ഗോ ടു ദ മെന്റിമീറ്റർ. ജസ്റ്റ് നിങ്ങൾ ചാറ്റിൽ ഇട്ടാൽ മതി. സോ ഇറ്റ്സ് ബെറ്റർ. സോ ഐ ക്യാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് നോ ദാറ്റ് ദർ ഇസ് എ റിട്ടൺ പോളിസി ഇൻ യുവർ കോളേജ്. ഒരു യെസ് ഓർ നോ ഇട്ടാൽ മതി നിങ്ങളുടെ ചാറ്റിലുണ്ട്. ആരെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് ചാറ്റിൽ ഇടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഐ വിൽ ബി ഏബിൾ ടു understand that your organization is having some kind of policy to curb the e-waste issues and all. So mostly I have not seen any organization, especially educational institutes, with a e-waste policy. But there will be some written kind of, there will be certain procedures being followed to scrap all the waste. Every year there will be some vendors approaching the colleges, and they will be shown the kind of waste being dumped at one place. They will be telling like we will take, yes, I'm getting mostly no in the chat. So no e-waste policies. So as I mentioned, I have not seen anywhere, especially in the educational institutes, regarding a e-waste policy. But creating one e-waste policy, maybe you can write down a standard operating procedure or some SOP kind of thing, with clear cut mentioning like this need to be given to an approved recycler, or maybe this may be or the inside the campus itself there will be some specified areas where the faculties, the students, and other people can deposit the e-waste that they having. Maybe some kind of policies you can write down with some simple SOPs, and maybe some simple disposing criterias, with some recyclers. So that will be counted in your accreditation activities also, because these kind of things will get some kind of additional weightage. So a request from my side is like maybe all the institutions can work on a e-waste policy, e-waste handling policy. And in some of the institutes I have seen during the time of Tech Fest, they will build some huge robots with the electronic waste that they get from different places. But again, when we do likewise and we keep the um, robot in an open space, because of the weather conditions, again, this heavy metals and the toxic things may end up in the soil, and ultimately it will wash out to the drinking water and all. So maybe it can be taken as one of the problem statement from your side. All the electronics department people can easily take this as a problem statement. Within the campus itself, you can see how effectively we can reuse or upcycle or recycle these things. Can we convert it into a usable thing? Can we use the old fonts? At least we can take all the displays. Can we use these displays in the projects that we are doing? So that kind of initiations can be done from the faculties and student side. Maybe these kind of things we can use in some innovative projects being done by the students. Here we try to do one activity at Maker Village and IoT sensors. So we request all the startups to donate all the development boards or maybe all the sensors that they are not currently using. So we keep a hardware library. So any new people coming to our place, or maybe any students associated with the with us, they can come into the hardware library. They can take some of the hardware from there, just like a library, just like vending the lending the books. They can take the hardware development kits from our labs. So there is a dedicated hardware library being set up there, so people can use the things. And every first Saturday, we used to organize one event known as Maker Chat, where we explore new kind of development boards, and also we introduce the new enthusiastic people or students who are coming over there. We help them familiarize with the different boards that or different platforms that we are having. So such kind of activities every colleges can initiate. So maybe let's say if there are 200 students in the electronics department in the 4 years, the fourth years, the final years, when they move out, they will be having at least one project which will be having some kind of controllers or processors. So once they move out of the college and once they get into an industry, let's say some IT job or maybe to a core industry, they will not be using these development platforms anymore. So these development platforms can be submitted to the campus. It can be donated back. It can be donated back, and what we say, you can prepare a hardware library or something where you can lend out the hardware to the junior students likewise. So when we do the policies and regulations at your organizations, usually the first part everyone will be having, because you will be keeping an audit manual or maybe an inventory where you list out all the electronic equipments with the purchase details, the maintenance details, and all. And you keep track of all the things. So uh, so most of the colleges, they will be having an stock register, but most of the colleges may not be having the maintenance thing, like a predictive maintenance register, where every electronic gadget will be monitored over a specific period of time. So maybe some of you will be recollecting that we mentioned about a digital twin earlier. So under Industrial 4.0, now the industries, when they turn to digital twins and all, there is a exact copycat present in a control station or maybe in a remote control center. So similarly, you also can think of some kind of softwares or maybe some kind of digital twins where on a digital basis you can monitor your devices, and you can think of having a predictive maintenance kind of stuff. So this will ensure that a device which was supposed to run in a college environment for 3 years, with the predictive maintenance kind of thing, it may run for another 4 or 5 years. So that will enhance the lifetime, less amount of e-waste being generated, and it will be a good thing for the managements also. So when you start working on some novel technologies like digital twin or maybe monitoring the devices based on some different parameters, that can be adopted to the industries nearby you also. So anyway, all the industries in and around us need to be transformed. So if we can use this technology in our labs, we can ensure that our lab devices or the lab gadgets lifetime is being enhanced with this technology. If we have the data, it will be easy for you or your students to sell this technology. And the next part is like, instead of simply giving the e-waste to a third party vendor like some scrap agents, because when you sell the e-waste along with other scrap to a scrap person, they will simply they will not ensure that the e-waste is being disposed properly. So they, for them, there will be no regulations, or they will not be following any regulations in the disposal of the e-waste and all. So in within the campus itself, you can do a procedure like, you can bring some process how the e-waste can be disposed, and you can look into the website that I have shared earlier. So there you can see approved recyclers, approved dismantlers and all. So you can talk to few in your region, maybe in the in Kerala itself. Maybe you can see district wise, you can see different recyclers. So you can talk to them, maybe you can come up with an MOU with these recyclers, and you can ensure that the e-waste being properly recycled. So within the organization, either you can go for a repair, refurbishing, predictive maintenance kind of things. You can you can associate with some of the approved recyclers. So with your intervention, you can ensure that the e-waste being properly disposed, or it will be used in an effective manner. So I have added a few more videos here, but I'm not going to all the videos because all these things you would have seen maybe while scrolling the videos in YouTube. You would have seen all these things. So here, one more part I would like to stress is like the circular economy, where many startups are thinking of the circular economy, how a product can be used multiple times, not in that product form itself. Maybe it will be upcycled, or it will be recycled into a different product. For example, as I mentioned earlier, the mobile phone screens you can use into a different product where your student will be doing some innovative projects. So there, in the things can be used in a different manner, and it can be maybe if it's like a product, it can be moved on to, it can be introduced to the market in a different form. So circular economy kind of things can be brought in. which will ensure that the sustainability is happening, the carbon footprint is being reduced, the carbon credits is in place. So all this will ensure that better tomorrow. It will reduce the e-waste considerably. So maybe once if you are passionate in initiating something, you can think of an e-waste collection program at your campuses. Earlier, IEEE student branches used to do that maybe in 18, 19, when I was in the campus, when I was in the college. That time, IEEE was doing something similar, and close to 3 or 4 lakhs they have generated from the e-waste collection campaign. So the same thing you can do in your campuses also, because one campus means it's like 1,000 families. So every family will be generating. As we when we started, we did a small poll. So most of you were telling like 3 to 5 kilos of e-waste you have generated last year. So let's say 1,000 families. 1,000 families means it's close to 5 tons of e-waste. So that 5 tons of e-waste will fetch some amount which can be utilized. So once you collect this e-waste, you can see whether anything can be utilized for a refurbishing or maybe to recycle kind of thing. And based on that, you can create some value addition for the received waste. Or maybe once you sell this to a approved recycler, you will be getting some amount against this e-waste. So that can be used for some kind of events or some kind of innovative activities. So maybe once the new semester starts, in maybe if you are if you are attached with institutional innovation councils or AD clubs or IEDCs, you can talk, or maybe to the national service scheme, you can talk to the students under these cells. You can discuss with them, brainstorm with them. Shall we do one campus e-waste collection program? Can we collect some 5 tons of waste? Can we dispose it properly? Can we identify an approved recycler or maybe dismantler? Can we do an MOU with them? Can we visit their industry to see how the waste being recycled, or how the uh, costly elements are being extracted? So all these things you can just check, and maybe with these activities, at least we'll be doing something good for the environment also. So now we will just look into the research trends. So everyone will be well. Uh, you all will be knowing all the research trends in the e-waste side, because right now the battery management is a very hot topic. So as you know, every year lakhs of electric vehicles are coming to the market, and the battery technology is changing very fast. So when we started, we just talked about the EV chargers. So all the EV chargers that were installed in the earlier days, maybe most of you will be seeing one charger in the electric poles, which was done by KICB. So I have seen hundreds of this AC slow chargers, but I have not seen anyone using these chargers to charge the two-wheelers. So that means the technology is obsolete. So nobody is using that chargers anymore, because it's a 3.3 kilowatt charger, and it will take one two-wheeler to at least 3 to 6 hours. They need to be there to get it completely charged. If you are coming in Trivandrum, you can see now battery swapping stations being installed. So these kind of technologies will be replacing the older chargers. So we discussed about the modular concepts. So can we think of some new kind of batteries? So already the traditional batteries being replaced by sodium ion. So all the BYDs, the Hyundai's, is all runs on the sodium ion kind of batteries, and lithium. Different new types of researches are coming in, and how the battery is being charged, how the battery is being discharged. So there is a lot of research happening now. Recently there was a 100 crore being allocated to few of the campuses. So there was a consortium made around the EV technology, and 100 crore was sanctioned by one of the central government ministries. So I think IIT Palakkad and NIT was they are spearheading that initiative. And if you look into Kerala, in Trivandrum, the Trust Park is there. So there you have an extensive setup for battery testing, the EV testing, everything. In IIT Palakkad also they have a very good test benches to do this test and all. IIT Palakkad Technology Innovation Foundation. So all these things you can utilize because all the facilities are available. Maybe a request from your organization to these incubators or maybe to this what we say to these research centers will help you to collaborate with them, and you can think of some novel solutions how effectively we can recycle the things. Now, as I mentioned earlier, now many startups are coming with multiple ideas to upcycle, or maybe let's say the EV batteries. How can we use these EV batteries as charge storage devices for the renewable sources? So such kind of ideas are being taken up by some smart minds, and they keep on working. They work on that. So a lot of areas are now coming up. So major opportunities include the resource recovery, as we mentioned, the multiple expensive material recovery from the old or the electronic gadgets. Can we bring in some certain kind of sustainable materials? So you may have read about the graphene based conductive inks and all, which can be disposed to the soil in a more nature friendly manner. So certain researches are going on in Maker Village itself. We have this India Innovation Center for Graphene, IACG, where they work on these kind of conductive wings and all. So most probably the center will be start functioning in another 2 months. The clean room and kind of activities are coming up there in Kochi campus. So maybe June, July, August or September it will be officially announced. But there is a good research team working on the conductive wings and multiple sustainable materials which can be used across the electronic gadgets and all. The circular economic part, can we do a proper upcycling or recycling of the existing products to make new products which can be introduced to the market, and the segregation side where you can bring novel technologies which will segregate the waste materials properly. So all these things are some hot areas for the research side. So being faculties, you will be knowing all these areas, and on a startup perspective, now whatever areas I have listed here, you can see some people are coming with some kind of ideas every month to us. So now we will just go through the funding opportunities. So anybody having ideas about the kind of funding mechanism available in your organization? നമ്മുടെ കോളേജുകളിലുള്ളിൽ തന്നെയുള്ള ഫണ്ടിങ് മെക്കാനിസംസ് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഐഡിയ ഉണ്ടോ? സോ ഇഫ് എനി വൺ ഹാവിങ് സം കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഐഡിയ ക്യാൻ യു പുട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഇൻ ദ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സ്. നമ്മുടെ കോളേജുകളിൽ തന്നെ ഒരുപാട് ഫണ്ടിങ് മെക്കാനിസംസ് ഉണ്ട്. സോ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് യു മേ നോട്ട്, whenever I ask, most of the faculties may not be knowing about these kind of opportunities available. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാവുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും ഫണ്ടിങ് മെക്കാനിസംസ് ഉണ്ടോ വിത്തിൻ ദ ക്യാമ്പസ് ഇറ്റ് സെൽഫ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മേ ബി വിത്തിൻ ദ റീജിയൻ? എനി ഫണ്ടിങ് മെക്കാനിസംസ് അത് എല്ലാവരും പോയോ? കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്? Am I audible? ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് ചാറ്റിൽ ഇടാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്തെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാവുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഫണ്ടിങ് മെക്കാനിസംസ്? കാരണം there is one central government policy, not central government scheme, which provides every faculty a financial support of 3 lakhs if they are providing some innovative ideas. അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സ്കീമിനെ കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? Okay. Rashma madam is telling there is no funding mechanisms. Vinod sir also telling no. So anyway, I'll just brief a few of the funding mechanisms. So if you look into any educational organizations, we can divide the funding opportunities into four. Again, there will be some subcategories. So one is, of course, the funding support from the state governments and central government. The second one, in the academia level, when I was with the Tyagaraja group, we had a very good support from the academia. Like we created one group of alumni where we invited all the HNIs and all the established industrials and technocrats, where they came forward to support the student innovators at different years. So it will be considered as a pre-seed ranging from 1 lakh to 15 lakhs. And another category of funding comes from the industry. So maybe I'm not sure how many of you will be looking into the NIRF ranking every year. So if you look, you can see in the top or the first rank will be taken by IIT Madras always. So if you just open their NIRF ranking, there will be one PDF attached to that ranking. So if you open that, you can see their consultancy amounts coming in. So all this consultancy comes from the industries. So it's close to 300 crore last time. But for the colleges in Kerala, it will be difficult to raise that much amount. But again, there are a lot of industries in and around our organizations. So just motivate your students to visit the nearby industries. When I was at Srivadi, we were having some associations with multiple industries in Shornor. So we used to take some visits every time to these industries, and we identify certain problem statements, and we'll tell them industry that we can solve this maybe in a period of 6 to 8 months. If we are solving this problem, whether you will be willing to take this solution. So if they are willing, we will be putting an NDA, and then we'll be going for a consultancy kind of stuff. So likewise, we used to generate some amount from the industries. So in Tamil Nadu, in Kovilpatti, there is a mastic industry. So when we visited there, we so lot of women labor involved in the process of counting mastics and putting it in the boxes, mastic boxes. So if you look into that particular industry, day by day they are facing this labor issue, because every day people are decreasing, and they find it difficult to count the sticks and pack it. And the entire counting systems, everything comes from uh, outside India, like the counting technologies, everything. So it was given to a group of students and a few faculties who take up the challenge. And within a span of 6 months, they developed a counting system using a camera, using a conveyor belt. They created a counting mechanisms, and with the help of SMC group, that's PLC PLC kind of industry. You can search for SMC. They provide a lot of robotics and industrial automation solutions. So with their support, they created a system where this mastics can be counted, and it can be put into matchboxes based on with the support of SMC automations. So the entire project was being funded by the mastic industries. So they need to pay close to 1 crore for the solution outside, but it's been developed around 30 to 35 lakhs with the support of SMC and local manufacturers. So that kind of scale you can have. Maybe just take your students to visit, maybe not in 60s and hundreds, maybe 5 or 10 students you can depute to the nearest industry. Let them go and see the industry, let them study what's the process, what's the things happening there. And now KTU making the internship a mandatory thing, it will be easy for the faculties to check with their students to understand what is happening in the industries and what's the kind of problem statements they will be having. So such kind of things you can do. So these are few categories where the funding opportunities comes. And when we look into the government side, as I mentioned earlier, there is a MSME host institute business incubator scheme. So every college who can show 1,000 square feet, they can have this host incubator in their organization. So under host institute business incubator scheme, every organization is eligible to recommend 50 ideas every year. So usually the call for happens during July to September, and there will be an internal process. You need to identify 50 good ideas, and you should ensure that there is no plagiarism, there is no copycat things happening, there is no kind of chat GPT. Like it should not be completely chat GPT generated, because when during 2023 and all, we were receiving ideas with the prompts. So the prompt will be there, and the below side there will be an ending like, shall I convert this to a PDF or Word? This kind of stuff will be will be submitted to review and all. So you should ensure that such kind of things will not happen. And another thing we noticed during the MSc thing is like, for 15 lakhs grant, students will be applying for 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh and all. So for 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh and all, they can move for some other schemes. If it's in Tamil Nadu, there is a innovation voucher programs. If it's in Kerala, there is a idea grants available under Kerala Startup Mission. So those kind of things they can assess. Under MSME HIBI, every student is eligible to get up to 15 lakhs. Yeah, the organization can also support the innovators outside the college. But for the innovators outside the student capacity, they will get only 85%. The 15% will be the commitment from the individual. So if an individual is applying for 17 to 18 lakhs, they will be getting 15 lakhs, and the rest of the amount will be the commitment from the individual side. So these kind of funding schemes are available, but unfortunately from Kerala, we have very less number of applications receiving every year. And if you compare the number of projects granted in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, there is a very huge difference. In Tamil Nadu, the count is close to 200, whereas in Kerala, the count is like 8 or 10. And fortunately, last time IES college received one project, IES in Thrissur. Maker Village received two projects, and Amal Jyoti received one, and one more college they received one project, it seems. So even if you take the case of Maker Village, we received only 6 applications. Out of 6 applications, we received grant for 2. I'm not sure with the other colleges how many applications they received, but I'm pretty sure that the number of applications being submitted from Kerala is very less, and most of the colleges, they don't know about these kind of schemes, which can be easily received from MSME. The process is very simple. Only internal hackathon we need to do. Rest everything will be done by the scrutiny. Everything will be done by subject expert groups, part of MSME. So it's a simple process that you need to do. And another thing is the funding mechanisms through Institutional Innovation Council. So there is a Yukti Innovation Challenge being happening every year. The Smart India Hackathon happening every year. So through these two things, the students, they can get some financial support, maybe ranging from 1 lakh to 3 lakhs likewise. And under these are coming under central government. And there are several other schemes under DST, SERB, ANRF, and the National Research Foundation, MEITI, DBT, and all. So the entrepreneurship in residence scheme, any student can directly apply. Under DST and under MEITI, they have this Genesis scheme and Tide scheme, which can support the students. So the support ranges from 4 lakhs to 7 lakhs. So every student is eligible to apply. There is no need of any kind of legal entity or any startups need to be registered. Adult Innovation Mission, they provide the seed grants, maybe in the range of 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs for every registered entities inside the campuses. So under DBT, this Sparsh program is there. Under Startup India Seed Fund Scheme is there. So there are lot of funding schemes under central government, but most of the time the startups fail to apply. And even Recently, there was one event happening at Kerala Startup Mission. This um, young Thai global meetup, young innovators meetup, something likewise. So mostly from 17 chapters, students from 9th and 10th, 9th to 7th to 12th grade participated. Uh, Even some startups in Kerala failed to pitch their concepts in a good manner, or നമ്മുടെ ഈ ടൈയിൽ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത കുട്ടികളുടെ അത്ര പോലും ആ ലെവലിലേക്ക് നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഈവൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സ് ദേ ആർ നോട്ട് ഏബിൾ ടു പിച്ച്. So that's because of the lack of exposure, lack of experience and all. So if they are getting a good guidance, maybe faculties like you can provide some good guidance to your students. You can mentor them, like this is the pitch deck need to be prepared. So if you do something likewise, or if you can train them in certain ways, definitely I think our students have the necessary skills, or our students will have the necessary skill set to apply for all these things, and definitely there will be some good amount of grants coming to your organizations. So these all are central government schemes, and if you look into the state government schemes, we have the idea grant under Kerala Startup Mission, and under Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, they were giving some prototyping support like 10,000, 20,000 and all. But now I'm not sure whether they are giving the call for it. And likewise, there are many private entities like Hackster. So because when you look into a project, one of the major constraint is the hardware. So there are people willing to provide the hardware. When I was in the college, I received close to 15 to 20 lakhs hardware around. So that kind of support you'll be getting. And most of you will be familiar with the chip to startup scheme, the chip in kind of thing. So if anyone interested to work in the semiconductor area and all, CDAC is willing to support. The tape out, tiny tape out kind of support can be provided through CDAC. I think there was a scheme known as TOPS, tiny tape out, one tiny tape out per college. So 500 colleges were selected all over India under the VLSID group, and I think all the 500 colleges were given an opportunity to tape out the innovations that they have made around the chip and all. If we are going for a tape off from outside, it will be very expensive. But through these schemes, you can access to the EDA tools at free of cost, and also you can go for the tiny tape outs at free of cost. So such kind of funding mechanisms are available, which can be utilized. And this is another thing that we focus on. Actually, we do have some association with the Cochin Shipyard Limited, BPCL and all. So on a periodic basis, Cochin Shipyard Limited, they provide some problem statement to us, which will be circulated among our startups. And those who have some kind of technologies in the TRL 3, 4 levels, they apply to the scheme, and this TRL4 maybe over a period of time. Once they do the pitching, and if they get selected over a period of 3 months or 5 months, they will transform to TRL6 through the field pilots, or the field pilot opportunities given at the premises of CSL. So such kind of things can be done. So same thing we do with the Maruti Suzuki also. But for Maruti Suzuki, they invite innovations, and they do it in cohorts, where every cohort they will be selecting some 15 to 20 innovators, and they will be doing some scrutiny, some demo day, some pitching kind of things. And if everything is going good, the innovators will be given all the support for the POC with a financial component up to 1 crore. And also they will be officially taken to the vendor list of Maruti Suzuki. So this will ensure that the entity found by the innovator will be sustainable for a period of over a period of years, and they will get all the necessary support to scale up. Same with Hyken also. Recently, Hyken supported one of our startups known as Nava with some considerable amount like 2 to 3 crores. So Nava is nothing but it's a robot which climbs the coconut. They tap the nira and they preserve the nira with the actual quality and all. So for nira preservation and all, I think in India there is no other entities which do it on a with the support of a robot. So these kind of things kind of funding methods are available. So only not only these three entities, we are in discussions with 40 plus entities like IBM, Tata, IBS, multiple industries in order to launch a corporate accelerator program where the innovators or the startups with a TRL 4 to 6 will be attached to an industry based on the problem statements or based on the requirements. So whoever gets through, they will be getting support from the industry, and also from the government side we also putting some investments from our side. So the discussions are going on. Maybe in another 2 to 3 months that also will be launched. So all these are opportunities where you can think of getting some financial support or moving your entity to the next level. So once you start the research, definitely it can be a binary. Maybe either you will be ending up with a prototype, success prototype, or maybe you will be ending up with some kind of research articles which can be which may have the content to file for the patent and all. So if you look into Tamil Nadu from one single organization, let's say in Madurai, this Tyagaraja group, they do patent filing, at least 10 to 15 patents being filed every month. So now they are not at all concerned with the patents, because this design patents, utility patents, the international patents, they have more than enough patents with them. So in Tamil Nadu, if you look in a larger scale, now most of the organizations, they focus on technology translation or technology transfer and technology commercialization, because patents is no more a big thing in Tamil Nadu. But if you look into Kerala, most of the colleges, they don't have this focus towards patent or thinking of commercializing the technologies. So that part also we need to focus on. Maybe we can do start with some kind of research. We can think of prototyping. Once the prototype is done, instead of immediately publishing in the papers, you can think of patenting it. If you have an IP, it will be an additional weightage when you meet a government panel or an angel or VC for a fundraising thing. So these things, once you have the patent, either you can translate it to a startup, or maybe it can be transferred to some other entities, because many industries or many business people, they will be looking for some good solutions. So if you are looking into the CTC under KSST, all the departments, they do this technology commercialization in an effective manner. Recently, Siemens did a technology transfer to Keltron and multiple industries for their cancer detection solutions and all. If you look into NRDC, there are 300 plus technologies which are ready to be transferred. So on an organization level, you can think of creating a repository of all the projects and all the patents that you're having. And maybe you can talk to multiple industries, and you can invite them to your campus. You can showcase this kind of technologies are available. So if they are interested, you can think of transferring these technologies. So ultimately, it may result in startup, or it may result in some kind of technology transfer. So apart from the, if you're looking into the financial aspects, you also will be benefited on a career perspective. And also, let's say if you are having a patent, it will be definitely reflecting in your appraisal forms. If you have a patent, then you are in a position to transfer it to some kind of industries. So once you transfer, based on the exclusivity that you are providing, some royalty may be coming, some initial technology transfer fee will be coming. So all these are like positives for your career. And another part is like getting incubated. So once you did the research, you have a good prototype, you have some patents, you formed your startup. The next thing is like be part of an incubator. So instead of going outside your campus, you can think of incubating within your campus. So let this MSME HIBA be your incubator. You can be part of that incubator. So you will be eligible to get some more funds, because this Startup India Seed Fund scheme, you need to get recommended through an incubator. For the innovation visit programs, you need to get recommended through an incubator. So get incubated, and then you can scale up through different commercial activities. So this is the just a simple commercialization path or startup path for your research and all. So now, if you look into the universities outside India, especially if you look into Hong Kong and all, you can see any professor, they will be having some kind of technologies being transferred, or they will be running some kind of startups. So under your organization, under the Institution Innovation Council, you have formed National Innovation Startup Policy mandates that, or it gives the freedom for every faculty to initiate their own startups. But there are certain constraints, like you should be holding the stake, which should be less than 20%. You should not dedicate more than 20 hours for the startup activities. The management should provide some relaxations. Most probably it may not happen, but still, with your students, it can be made possible. When I was inside the college, I was having some 8 startups there, and when I moved to Tamil Nadu, there also within the incubator, I was able to do some 10 to 12 student startups. So only thing, you should have the passion. You should have a good rapport with the students, and you need to document everything, and also all the necessary agreements should be in place, because you provide all the supports, you put your time, effort, and some point of time the students may go out to your campus and they may initiate their own startups. So at that time, the entire effort that you have put in will be lost. So instead of that, do everything in a legal manner. Just sign an NDA, come to an agreement, ensure that as a mentor, you receive all the necessary stake, everything from the student part. So everything is clearly defined in the NISP policy that all the colleges have submitted to Ministry of Education. So you can check with your IAC chairman or someone. You will get the necessary documents, or maybe there was a mandate to publish these things in your college websites. From your college websites also, you can get these things. So this is, I thought we'll have a group activity kind of thing, but for me, some glitches I'm getting from the video, or maybe the breakout rooms. So you can, after this session, you can think maybe some e-waste innovation projects, some problem you can identify, how effectively you can solve that problem, whom I'll be targeting, and what will be the expected impact, which all funding agency I can approach. So maybe after this session, you can think with a group of students who will support you. And maybe there is a lot of things happening around the e-waste management, like as I mentioned earlier, especially on the battery side, especially on the this PCB side. So you can have a brainstorming session with your students, and you can see whether you can come up with some interesting projects and all. So with this, I would like to conclude, and maybe I'll be happy to answer your queries if you have some. So sorry for taking so long, and thank you for listening to all the things that I have mentioned. And I know it's not that technical, so I kept it on a startup perspective. So thank you all. Thank you for listening to me, and special thanks to Electronics and Communication Department of Sripati for inviting me to this event and giving an opportunity to handle one session on the e-waste. Thanks for the management and thanks to EC department and HODs there. Thanks a lot. എന്തെങ്കിലും queries ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ maybe എനിക്കറിയാവുന്നതാണെങ്കിൽ I'll answer now itself. Otherwise, I will mail to you with all the suitable answers.
Thank you, sir, for delivering such an insightful and engaging session. Your valuable knowledge, practical insight, and expertise have greatly enhanced our understanding of the topic. We sincerely appreciate the time and effort you have taken to share your experience with us. Your session has been truly informative and inspiring, and we are confident that the knowledge gained today will be beneficial to all of us. Now, I would like to invite the participants to share their feedback, comments, or questions regarding today's session. We shall now present token of gratitude to our esteemed resource person in appreciation of his valuable time and insightful session. On behalf of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for your valuable presence and contribution. Thank you once again, sir. Wishing you all the best and continuous success in your future journey. As we come to end of the 6-day International Faculty Development Program, I would like to invite Vinod sir to deliver the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, since we are having an insightful session on smart biomedical and sustainable electronic systems, AI, IoT, and green technologies, and we were having 6 days faculty development program, and for the time 6 to 10 p.m. in the evening, and we have so many participants from different colleges and different areas of the means Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and all. And majority of the participants were present during that session throughout the time up to 9:30 p.m. Every staffs were present during the session, and I am very happy to have such an active participants within this particular program. So from on behalf of Srivati Institute of Management Technology and on behalf of the Department of Electronics and Communication, all the staff members and myself, HOD, and from on behalf of the coordinators, I would like to thank everybody who are working as a resource persons for this entire session. Each day we are having two resource persons from different areas or different institutions, and they were doing a great job and delivering very good sessions with and today the last session, sir Sebin sir has given a wonderful session regarding different areas, e-waste management, and currently means the funding opportunities, and every institution is having they are all eager to know about the funding opportunities and the funding. There should be some funding, I mean some earnings from the external funding agencies, so that the institutions will be having some support from us faculty members. So thank you, sir, for giving such an insightful session, and once again thank you all for being with us, and uh, um, on behalf of once again on behalf of Srivati Institute and Department of Electronics and Communication, I thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
to all those resource persons for sharing their valuable knowledge and expertise throughout the program. We also thank all the participants for your enthusiastic participation, active engagement, and continuous support. We hope this FTP has been informative, enriching, and beneficial. The knowledge gained during these 6 days inspiring further research and innovation. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this program. We wish you to continue success in all your future endeavors. Thank you all.